Audience interaction is the cornerstone of success on YouTube, but because I'm rubbish, I think the last time I did it was about 3 years ago. So today, to celebrate the upcoming 2,000-kilometre cycle across Japan, you can even see just realised you can see the tyre of the bicycle in the background. Should have thought about that earlier. But today I'm going to be reading out your questions, guys. Questions you've sent in, deep, personal, far-reaching questions that will challenge me both intellectually and philosophically as well. Does pineapple belong on pizza? If you were a fish, would you eat donuts? Would you rather fight one horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses? Does pineapple belong on pizza? You know, there was a time when I used to love ham and pineapple pizza. The kind of saltiness of the ham mixed with the juiciness and sweetness of the pineapple. It was beautiful. It was like a taste explosion of flavours in my mouth. But that was when I was 7 years old and I was an idiot by all accounts. Now I know better. It doesn't work. It's a stupid combination and I hate it. Get out. If you were a fish, would you eat donuts? You bet I fucking would. If I were a fish, I'd take whatever I could get. If some human was stupid enough to throw a donut in a lake, I would be the first one to get it and nothing would stand in my way. Would you rather fight one horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses? I think one horse-sized duck. I think if you're looking at 100 duck-sized horses, it's going to require 100 to 150 rounds to take them down, potentially. Whereas with one horse-sized duck, you could do it with at least 2 to 3 rounds to the head. I think it'd be a lot easier. But if we're talking about a one-on-one fist fight, I would flip that around and I would take down 100 duck-sized horses with my shoes. Definitely. Could I survive in Japan being a ginger person? No, you'll be incinerated. Yes, you'll be fine. Just remember to wear lots of sunscreen and take an umbrella in the summer months. Otherwise, you'll end up looking like this. I learned a valuable lesson that day. What inspired you to be a YouTuber? I remember before I came to Japan, I started going online on YouTube and looking for vloggers, people that were living here, so I could kind of get an insight into life in Japan. And I came across this video of a Canadian girl slowly but passionately eating some bread. And I saw that this groundbreaking act had been watched by over 1 million people. It was then that I thought, well, you know, I could probably do that as well. Although I could never have imagined that I'd become friends with the aforementioned bread girl. It's quite cool, isn't it? You can watch someone on a screen and then you can become their friend. It's an exciting world we live in. What is your favourite board game? My favourite board game is Monopoly. Nothing beats the thrill of kicking your family's arse by having an empire that spans the board of houses and hotels. Unless I lose, in which case I hate it and it's the worst game ever. What's an activity or hobby you have in Japan you would never have considered doing at home in the UK? Walking down a dark alleyway at night. Seriously, I don't think I'd ever do that in the UK. I guess doing YouTube in general. I'd never have started it if I didn't move here because I would have felt like I'd have nothing to vlog about. I don't think myself, I'm not interesting enough to ever warrant doing it. So yeah, probably YouTube and alleyways. What's a video or topic you want to do but haven't had the funds, connections or time to accomplish it? I think if there was no limit to what I could do, I would produce a video comparing Japanese convenience store fried chicken. So, you know, we'd look at Lawson's fried chicken, Family Mart fried chicken, 7-Eleven fried chicken. I'd eat it all and compare it, you know, within the space of an hour. Only thing that's worried me is health considerations, and certainly in the run up to the cycle, I've been trying to be healthy and not eat things like that. I'd also love to make an 80s style music video with a kind of Blade Runner aesthetic. I'd probably do that in Osaka or Tokyo. I just haven't had the time to do it. Although we are passing through Osaka during the cycle, so could do it then. I'd also love to make some short films as well. Something I'm looking at doing next year, making some short films. But yeah, the main factor is always just time, having the time to write it, script it, produce it. It all takes so much time. How long did it take for you to be able to hold a conversation in Japanese? I think it took about a year to have a conversation that was good. Sure, after a few months I could say basic phrases like, "Hi, I'm Chris. This is a pen. I like pens. Do you like pens?" Took me about a year to transcend that level of groundbreaking conversation. Have you ever met Yakuza? You bet I have.
何やってんだこの野郎?
Actually, I mean, no. But I've probably spoken to somebody who's been a member of the Yakuza who just didn't tell me, who wasn't open about it. But yeah, they're everywhere, you know. but I've never spoken to anybody who said, I'm a Yakuza, and then talked to me about it, so I guess no. Is the plant in the background real or fake? The plant in the background, it's actually real. A real fake plant. I'll show you why it's here. I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Don't tell anyone. It's actually there. Oh shit. To hide the mark on the wall. Look at that. This was left by the leather sofa. I don't know how that happened. Somehow the leather rubbed off on the crappy cheap wall and did that. So we put the plant there and nobody's any the wiser. Clever, eh? It's just a secret between me and you. Don't tell anyone. In your opinion, what's the one thing from Japan that's worth bringing back as a souvenir the most? Sense of self-worth. And the new Sake Kit Kat flavour, it's amazing, tastes incredible. Definitely take some home with you, it would be a crime not to. What is the meaning of life? To be subscribed to the Abroad in Japan channel. And probably something about being happy. It is so inspiring having easy access to positive people like you online, especially when I'm having an off day. What life lesson experience has made you such a positive person? Yeah, positive, that's me. I like to start every day with a smile. Yeah, it's not convincing, is it? I wouldn't say I'm actually that positive, I just don't let negative things get to me. I think it's less about being happy and smiley and positive all the time, and more about just not letting crap things get you down. I think I've been lucky to surround myself with good people, friends, family, who never have stood in the way of anything I wanted to do. It amazes me how many people I talk to who complain about the people around them. You know, there's always somebody who puts them down or makes them feel bad or stands in the way of their dream or goal. If you have anyone in your life like that, cut them out and get rid of them. Don't ever compromise on the people you choose to spend your time with. Life's too short for all that crap. That got serious very quick, didn't it? Bloody hell. Why do we exist? 7 years ago, I went to the Caribbean and I laid down in this hammock. Oh my fuck, it was a revelation. Floating in the Caribbean breeze with the sun beating down upon my face, I realised this hammock personified existence better than any sentence ever could. And not a single day has passed since then that I haven't thought about that moment 7 years ago in that hammock. And so that's it, that's the meaning of existence for me, you know. We've all got to find our unique hammock moment, and I think once you do, the puzzle of existence will kind of all come together, fall into place. Like that. Have you had any experiences where you felt like you made a big difference to someone's life? Ryotaro and Natsuki, there'd be nothing without me. Nothing! It probably works the other way round as well. Honestly, I don't know. I get a lot of messages from people saying the videos made them want to come to Japan or teach English, which is awesome. That's always really rewarding. I must admit, I did once buy my ex-Japanese girlfriend some post-it notes, and I've always wondered if she put them to use, if she put them to good use in a compelling way. You know, I think if you use post-it notes in the right manner, there's no telling what you can do. It unlocks a whole different world of possibilities. So, you know, hopefully it changed her life in the way that my post-it notes change mine every single day. Oh, I've got to get some new socks. Shit, forgot about that. If you could bring one aspect of Japanese culture or technology to Britain, what would you choose? Well, I think the obvious answer would be to bring back trains that aren't shit, but also the concept of respecting other people's possessions. Somebody close to me had their bike stolen in London the other day, and they had it chained up, and they went off for 10-15 minutes, and somebody had sawn off the whole fucking chain, bike had gone. Whereas in Japan, people leave their MacBook Pros just lying there on the coffee shop table. They go to the bathroom, they just go off and walk somewhere for 10 minutes, and their MacBook Pro is still there, and they don't have to worry about it. That level of trust, I know it's absent in most of the world, but it feels like something the world could certainly learn from Japan. And yeah, I think that's the one thing I would export to the world if I could. But I can't, and I don't think I'll ever be able to. What is your pet peeve? Journalists and writers who overuse the phrase tour de force. That pisses me off. That and music by rap singer Iggy Azalea. Whenever I hear a song by Iggy Azalea, it makes me question whether the Big Bang was worth it. The only thing that could be worse would be if a journalist used the phrase tour de force to describe an Iggy Azalea album. That would send me right over the fucking edge. Do you like spending time alone? I mean, going to the cinema or cafe by yourself? walking alone, etc. I absolutely love being alone. It's probably my favourite thing in the world. I like hanging out with people for sure, but it's when I'm alone that I'm at my most kind of creative and ideas come. You know, I'm often try and walk for 40 minutes a day somewhere around, and when I do, that's when the ideas happen in my head. And I relax the most when I'm usually just driving through the countryside somewhere in a car, sitting there listening to music. That's when I'm at my most happiest, unless an Iggy Azalea song comes on the radio, in which case I hate it, and all cars and all radio and sound, it's all shit, I hate it. What did you do with all your worldly possessions when moving abroad? I liquidated them into incredible wealth, and by incredible wealth I mean about £300. I didn't have a whole lot. I had lots of clothes and DVDs and things. I took them to what's called a car boot sale in the UK. I think in America you call it a garage sale. Is it, or is there, I don't know, what do people do in America to sell things that's not eBay? But I basically took all my stuff into a field where there's lots of people and cars, and then I sold it all. A flea market, maybe that's what it's called. I don't know, help me out here. God, if only I could do this live. But I had a DVD collection of like 100 DVDs. I basically gave it all away. I barely made any money out of them. But it was the feeling of getting rid of everything. It wasn't so much about raising money, it was just about getting rid of all my stuff. And it was the most amazing, liberating experience ever. And I absolutely loved it. Just being able to fit my entire life into 2 suitcases was just awesome. How much longer will you live in Japan? And if you do leave, have you ever thought about life after Japan? This question came up more than any other. It was like 20% of the questions I had. And it's a question that I've got every single day now for the last 6 years. Not a single day has passed that a viewer or a friend, a family, just random Japanese people in the street have not asked me this question. As a result, I often feel like somebody who's overstayed their welcome at some kind of party. Oh, Chris, you're still here. I mean, originally I came to Japan for 2 years. The plan was come to Japan for 2 years, go back to the UK, get a career, get a mortgage, and then die after a few decades or something. But I found a connection with the Japanese culture that I didn't think I would have, and obviously doing YouTube gave me a sense of purpose as well. So there's still so much I want to do here in Japan, which is kind of what the cycle is about. And yes, you can't see the tyre now because the door's shut. That's a naughty continuity error right there, isn't it? Shocking. In a sense, Japan feels like my home more than the UK. I have a role here that I play, and I have a network of friends across the country that I just don't have back in the UK. And as much as I love the UK, and I'm sure I'll move back there someday, even if I did leave Japan, I'd probably go and live in another country and start all over and try and learn another culture and kind of do what I did here there. But that isn't the answer you want, is it? You want a nice, clear-cut, hard number. Because you've waited for a few minutes to get to this point, and this is what I'll say. I hope to be in Japan at least another 3 years. Beyond that, I can't say, but I think the Olympics in 2020 are going to be very exciting. It's going to be an awesome time, so I want to make sure I'm around for that at the very least. But that's it for now, guys. I've got to pack my bags. The 2,000 kilometre cycle kicks off in about 2 days, and I'm not even ready or prepared. And finally, the Abroad in Japan podcast is now on Spotify. You can find it in the link below. A lot of people have been asking about it for weeks or months on end, and it's finally there, so you can listen and download it on Spotify to your heart's content. But for now, guys, that's it. No matter where you might be out there in the big wide world, thanks for watching, and be sure to tune in for the cycle next week. As long as we don't come across any horse-sized ducks, Iggy Azalea, or ham and pineapple pizza, it's going to be fucking amazing. I guarantee it.